Hello, and welcome to your walk through Chagrin Falls. You are standing in front of the United Methodist Church at 20 South Franklin Street in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. The Methodist Church was formed in Chagrin Falls in 1833. While Methodists were active in the village from its earliest times, they formally were incorporated into the legislature as the Wesley Chapel of the Methodist Church in 1842. Prior to 1846, the members met in private homes and schoolhouses. The original church was built on land purchased for $100 in 1846. This two-story white church building was built on the opposite side of Franklin from the existing church. You can see the original church in this picture from around 1860, looking south from what is now Bell Street today. Notice that the Triangle Park has not been created yet. The peaked building in the center of the picture was moved back to Washington Street to make room for the park. The bell in the tower tolled to announce the death of a resident, 3 times for a man and 4 times for a woman. The church that you see today was built in 1884 and dedicated on January 8, 1885. It was constructed at a cost of $10,000 by Alexander and John Forsyth, 2 Scottish stonemasons. The interior of the building was the work of Harrison B. York, a skilled carpenter and cabinet maker. The Gothic Revival building, 45 feet by 72 feet in size, was built of brick and stone with a slate roof and stained glass windows. After the church was built on the new site, the old church building was converted to low-rent apartments. The official name was The Arcade, but was soon nicknamed the Beehive. This is the southeast corner of Franklin and Washington Streets in 1929. The old Methodist church was a tire repair and vulcanizing shop during this time. The frame's second story was ultimately moved to Hall Street, where it still stands today as a house. This was the interior of the church with its original 1885 pulpit. The side chairs were believed to have been used in the first church in 1846. They are currently at our Historical Museum. An early pewter communion service is pictured. In this wonderful view of the church from 1888, you are looking north on Franklin Street, in front of the church where they had horse-drawn sleigh rides. The sleigh ride was led by the Chagrin Falls Band and the superintendent of the Methodist Church, Will Upham, shown in the single sleigh in the rear. This is a glimpse of the Methodist Church sanctuary during the 1890s. The sanctuary was plastered with hammer beam supports, and the pews were oak and walnut. The interior was lit with a 12-branch combination electric oil chandelier. Many of Chagrin's children have attended the Methodist Church. Here's a picture of the United Methodist Sunday School class of 1890. These young people organized a society called the Edmonds Guild to raise funds to build an addition to house Sunday school rooms. It took 9 years to raise the money for a 1-story brick addition that contained 8 classrooms and a vestibule. The Methodist Church added a new organ around 1910. Vera Klein became the first organist, and Madeline Harris Waite was the substitute. Prior to the use of this organ, a melodeon was used, and it was brought to the church each Sunday in a buggy. Notice the barn and possibly an outhouse behind the church on the right-hand side of this view from the 1920s. For many years, the brick barn was located alongside the present church. It was part of the original 1885 construction and housed horses while the church members attended the services next door. In the summer of 1915, a circus rolled into town, and they parked 3 elephants in the barn. The keeper of the beasts charged a penny to walk through the barn and get a peek at the elephants. Here you can see the beautiful wood ornamentation that used to exist on the peak of the church. This is from the 1930s. This was prior to the addition of the Harris Hall and the new entrance. In this view of the church, you can see a building in the background. That is currently the Chagrin Falls Village Hall. This fine, upstanding young gentleman is John Borisell, singing "Oh Holy Night." John has been a wonderful custodian and champion for the history of the Chagrin Falls. He, along with all the other wonderful employees and volunteers, have done an excellent job of recording and saving Chagrin's history. Please feel free to stop by the museum at 87 East Washington Street to learn more about Chagrin's history. In 1955, through a matching gift on the part of Madeline Harris Waite, the church was able to build a new two-story education building. The Harris Hall was named and dedicated in appreciation of the labors and the stewardship of Madeline Harris Waite and Carlisle Harris. Reverend Dean Marston and Mrs. Hubert Schaff can be seen here during the groundbreaking. Here's the new addition as it was being constructed. You are looking east towards South Franklin Street in 1955. Once completed, the new addition provided additional room for classes and other activities in the community. Preschool is still provided there today. Here's an exterior photo of the Methodist Church showing the Harris Hall when it was built in 1955. In 1980, the sanctuary was remodeled and the seating capacity was increased. The chancel area was redesigned, the organ was enlarged, and the front entrance was relocated to the side. A memorial steeple was added to the bell tower, and a memorial garden was installed between the sanctuary and the educational building. The approximate cost of the remodel was $834,000, and the building was removed from the National Register of Historic Places at the time, since the architectural integrity was lost by the alterations of the new facade. On July 29, 1984, the church celebrated their 100th anniversary. Here, Beth Felger Ryan and Dale Ryan are standing on the steps of the church on that day, which just happened to be their wedding day. Reverend William Dudley Griffith has his back towards the camera. On that same day, a time capsule was buried. Here is Ralph Miller holding the time capsule that's about to be buried. This beautiful church has provided worship and comfort for many people since it was completed in 1884. Please feel free to stop in and say hello. Please enjoy your time in Chagrin Falls and keep an eye out for informational stops along the way. And as always, you're always welcome to visit us at chagrinhistorical.org or visit our historical museum at 87 East Washington Street for more information. Enjoy your walk and have a wonderful day.